executive editor at ClassicsToday.com and A&R director of Tinnitus Classics. Did you recognize that spectacular excerpt? Did it ring a bell? Was it familiar to you? No guesses? Let me play it for you again. Got it now? Ooh, that's the ring. Got it now? That was the finale of Tchaikovsky's Second Symphony, The Little Russian. And now that I've told you what it was, I'm sure that it's obvious. Of course, if you want to hear that magnificent excerpt, you can always go listen to the entire Little Russian Symphony. But why bother when you can have the best part all by itself? That's why I am so excited to present to you Tam-Tam's Greatest Hits, the latest in Tinnitus Classics' illustrious line of custom-made recordings designed to fill repertory gaps that the major labels and even the more imaginative independent labels probably had never considered. Of course, the reason that that fabulous excerpt from Tchaikovsky's Second Symphony hasn't been presented before is because that's the only part the Tam-Tam plays in it. That was it. It's in the finale. Go listen for yourself if you don't believe me. Tchaikovsky wrote so many magnificent parts for the Tam-Tam. I mean, the guy is known for his tunes, but, you know, we all know those. We've heard them a million times. Aren't they getting stale? But what Tchaikovsky has not been recognized for so far was his brilliant, imaginative, sublime use of the Tam-Tam. Just think about it. Think about, how about the Marche Slave? Isn't that just incredible? I mean, you don't need the rest of the Marche Slave. Who cares? Or Francesca da Rimini. Holy cow, the finale of Francesca da Rimini. On recording, you don't even hear that. How is that possible? How could the most thrilling part of the entire work go practically unrecorded? The reason, of course, is because the Tam-Tam is so thrilling, so exciting, so dynamic, so loud that conductors don't like noise. Recording engineers think that their equipment's going to be damaged, and so they just keep tamping it down and tamping it down. And so you've never had an opportunity before to appreciate the true magnificence of the Tam-Tam. But it's not all noise and commotion. What's the finest moment in the entire Pathetique Symphony? The one we all wait for, the one that makes the audience catch its breath silently. Of course, it's this moment. There's nothing else like it in the entire orchestral repertoire. But who cares? Who wants to take the time to give it the feature treatment that it deserves? It's really outrageous. And that's not all for Tchaikovsky. I mean, there's Fatum. Nobody cares particularly about Fatum. The only reason people listen to Fatum these days, the tone poem Fatum, is because of this. Allows Fatum to survive in today's repertoire. Nothing else. Same thing with Hamlet. Now, I have to confess, the concept for this multi-disc set, by the way, Tchaikovsky is only the first of several composers whose writing for the Tam-Tam we will be exploring. Of course, by the time we get to Mahler, it'll be at least a 2 or 3 disc set. But for Tchaikovsky, we only need one CD. And Originally, the concept here was part of the Tinnitus Classics Music Minus One series. You know, those recordings where you can listen to a flute concerto without the solo part, but the whole orchestral part was there. Well, at Music Minus One, we originally thought to just do the Tam-Tam part and sell the disc as Tchaikovsky Symphony No. 2 with just the Tam-Tam part. All the rest of it, the orchestral part, the other three movements, the listener, the purchaser, would have to supply themselves from the comfort and convenience of their own living room. We would supply the Tam-Tam part. But the idea of putting an entire 40-minute CD with a 4-movement symphony only containing one Tam-Tam crash in the finale might be difficult to market. And because of that, we decided rather than going for the Music Minus One concept, we were going to do the greatest hits by composer and give the Tam-Tam the feature treatment that it truly deserved. So if you, like me, are as fascinated by this king of instruments, clearly the king of instruments, then you are going to want to enjoy and purchase the Tam-Tam's greatest hits. I mean, Tchaikovsky is volume 1. There's so much more to come. We're going to be doing Berlioz. We're going to be doing Strauss. We're going to do Rimsky-Korsakov and Mahler and Shostakovich and Prokofiev and Stravinsky. Let's not forget Stravinsky. In fact, I'm going to play you a highlight from our Stravinsky disc. We all know what this is. Right? It's the end of part 1 of The Rite of Spring. You see, you can tell what a piece of music is just from its Tam-Tam part, and I know you guys know them as well as I do, and so I am delighted to introduce this fabulous new disc to you from Tinnitus Classics. Keep your eye out for ordering information. It's going to be at a very special price for YouTube viewers of this channel. So keep on listening, folks. Thank you for joining me, and take care.